Hey everyone, this is Hypo and welcome back to more Let's Play Kirby's Dreamland 3. In the last episode, we got all the heart stars in the game, and in this episode, we'll be starting off by fighting King Dedede. Now, this is actually a very standard, King Dedede fight. If you fight him once, then you pretty much know what's going on. He has a very twisty jump attack this time around, instead of just jumping around, and I didn't realize how good that spike ability could actually be for this, so yeah, he'll do the jump attack. He also has his trusty hammer as well, and he can also inhale you as well, so be very careful of that. And let's jump here, and hope the hammer will miss. Okay, and as you could tell, I didn't heal in between episodes, which I totally forgot to do. Alright, so I think one good strategy for this fight is just don't let him get you in a corner. Like, you want to stay close to one, but not so close to where he'll, trap you and he'll be able to do easy damage on you. So now on to the second form. If any of you who ever played Kirby 64 or watched my LP of this should look pretty familiar. This is basically what will happen when dark matter possesses him. So he'll shoot out these little balls of darkness, and you just have to go and shoot him. Now this fight is actually a lot harder than the first form because a lot of the time he's in the air, and he'll stretch open his stomach and come at us and try to eat us, which is very weird. And I can imagine that's probably very painful to have your freaking torso ripped open by the forces of darkness to try and consume your enemies. That just doesn't sound appealing at all, to say the very least. So just keep waiting, and it's like all boss fights, it's probably a good idea to come in with some sort of power-up, like how the very first time I faced him, I came in with a needle, and that actually was a lot more effective than I thought it would be. It was just kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. I just happened to have that from the last recording. In fact, I might go get one now. Feel like Cutter would be the really try-and-true power-up to use here because it's practically the only projectile power-up in the game, so it's actually very useful here. Just do that. You can also just do this too, but that just takes too long. So just try and try to keep some distance in between them. That's probably a good strategy for the second form. Just keep doing that. Hit him with the cutter. Just feed him cutters. All the cutters in this game all look like bananas for some reason. I'm not gonna lie. It always has to come back to something food related, doesn't it? So let's just do that. And for some reason, if you go far enough off the screen, the cutters will despawn, and I don't know why. Also, another thing is you probably don't want to try and get too high on the screen because he can follow you, since he does nothing but fly in this boss fight. Do that, get him in the foot. Hopefully I'll live through this one. Yeah, that's good. There's also another good strategy, just try and get behind him with his cutter ability while he does that attack. Get some free hits on him. And that's the last hit. Whoop, I really ruined that epic moment just now. Alright, but unfortunately, that is not it. Welcome to level 6, the really trippy F-Zero knockoff, Hyper Zone. Alright, this is dark matter, so starting off with our heart rod, we want to try and hit him. Well, that's basically it. Just keep hitting him with the heart rod. This fight is very similar to the first part of the nightmare fight from Kirby's Adventure. So one thing that I will say about this is that he drifts from left to right of the screen, so it is very good to pay attention to where he's been, because there will be times where he'll just stop in the middle of the screen and he'll just keep going in the direction he was headed, so just be very mindful of that. And also, he has this attack where he'll shoot kind of his body parts at us, or at least those ball parts of his. He also has the thunder attack like we've seen before, and he only shoots in diagonally, he can't shoot straight for some reason. And I gotta say, I really love the boss fight music here, it's just so good. So just keep hitting him here. And also another thing I would say is that it is very ideal to come in this fight, well, first of all, fully healed, and second, it's probably best not to get hit so much. As you'll see, not now. I think another good strategy that, if you're so inclined to do so, is that, look at this. Gooey is actually of some use in this fight. So Gooey will turn into this dark matter-esque creature here, and just shoot stars at the enemy. And so just keep doing that, but also be warned, like in other, pretty much in other games, like throughout the rest of the game, Gooey will take down one of your health bars if you decide to use that. But that is still not it. Welcome to Zero. So yes, this is actually the precursor to Zero 2 from Kirby 64. So this is the part of the fight where it gets pretty tricky. So what Zero will do is that first attack will shoot kind of like blood at us, and then he'll also shoot many versions of dark matter at us. Now this is another one of his attacks where he just decides to bum rush you. This is actually not one of my best attacks to avoid because, well, he has such a huge target and it's kind of hard to get in the way. One thing I would suggest is not to stay so close to the corners and just kind of keep wailing on him, and that's pretty much the entire fight in a nutshell. So he'll try and jump at us like that, and then while he's back there, he'll still shoot more blood spots at us and come back but the thing is, sometimes when he does that, he decides to go back. And like I said last episode, the hitboxes in this game are not very long, so just be very mindful of that. Also, if you die to Zero, then you have to start the entire fight over again at Dark Matter. Alright, so you remember how I said, maybe, I think this was back in Kirby 64, but you remember how I said that there's sort of like this morbid thing that we have to face, kind of like how Kirby games are kind of notorious for that, where it has this cutesy exterior, but there's really just this more like nightmares type creature that we have to face. Well, here it is, basically. So I think another strategy that you want to use is that be mindful that the dark matter spawn will try and home into you. So try to keep on your toes, maybe stay to either the top or the bottom of the screen, but not towards the middle. And I'm surprised I actually didn't get hit there. I just realized I only have one more hit left. So just keep keep throwing at him. So another thing about this boss fight in particular, the Dark Matter and Zero, is that it doesn't matter how many times you hit them. They have a set number of HP. It's not like the other bosses where if you hit them, they like if you hit them and they only go down half a bar. It takes some hitting them in order to try and kill them. Also, did I neglect to mention that this boss fight is not easy, because it's not. I just like to let everyone know that I came into this fight with 9 hits, with 9 possible. I only got hit by Dark Matter once. That's the easy part. It's fighting Zero that gives me so much trouble, and it's not to mention with that not to mention his hitbox is freaking huge. So that's the one. That's like the part that really gets me, is his huge target area. It's just so easy to get hit by. And the Zero's down, but he just won't stay dead. This is the Zero Eye, as I like to call it. So pretty much this tests your ability, just how well you can just fly in a circle. So basically what you want to do is get on his inside and just keep hitting him. This is actually fairly easy if you can get the pattern down. See, he doesn't even have that much HP left. So we just hit him there, and one more shot ought to do it. And oh, we got him. And that's it. Zero's been defeated, and all the Dark Matter will be repelled from Popstar. Alright, that's going to do it for Kirby's Dreamland 3. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Overall, I thought the LP went over pretty well. It was probably one of my better LPs. Now, granted, I don't think it was my magnum opus or anything, but still, I thought it was a pretty good LP overall. I just wish it didn't take all summer to upload it, because, in all honesty, I could have recorded this had I kept a steady recording schedule. I could have had this uploaded probably by the start of July or earlier this month, sometime around then. But still, I think the uploads went pretty well. It's probably one of my more constantly uploaded series. Although I did say that I was gonna do a video on the partner abilities that we didn't cover throughout the playthrough. Well, I'm gonna include that with an extra video that it probably won't be immediately after this goes up, but I do plan to do it because we are not done yet. We still got a little bit more to go with this game. And speaking of the game itself, I would probably say that this would have to be around kind of middle of the road for me, because there are some Kirby games that I like more than this one. There are others that I like less than this one. So I probably have to put this one on the middle to lower end of the spectrum. But I still had a lot of fun playing this again. I still think it's a pretty good game that got... In all honesty, I kind of felt that this game got a little shafted because A, it had the notorious distinction of following what many consider to be probably the quintessential Kirby game, and B, just its late release date, because those of you who are just now watching and don't know, this game came out in November of '97. It came out a little more than a year after the N64 came out, so that's probably one of the main reasons that people overlook this game, is because of its late release date, and by then, people had already probably had an N64, so I felt like this game just kind of got lost in time a little bit. And this game also gets kind of shunned in the Kirby community as well, although I think this is, like I said, I think this is a pretty good game. So I think if you didn't have a great experience with it for the first time, I'd probably encourage you to give it a second chance, because maybe you'll enjoy it, but that's just a suggestion. I mean, you don't necessarily have to do it, but I would still encourage you to play it over again. Maybe you'll find something you like. But that's pretty much going to do it from my end. I'd like to thank you all for watching. This has been Hyperwallow, and until next time, I'll see y'all later, and enjoy the rest of the credits.